songs.
We can edit this out later.
Well, I better let you go, because like I was...
How you doing? Hi fans of high quality entertainment. This is just a vlog about rock music, and I'm really looking forward to your comments below as always. Now, someone recently asked me about a video idea for my rock music vlogs of once a month reviewing a new band's album. And I wrote back and said thanks for the idea, but nothing in the past few years has interested me, like new bands or anything. And I also saw on the internet, so it must be true, a little while ago, that the music that we love, it kind of stops at a certain time, like, I don't know, in your mid-20s or whatever, all of the bands that you love, and then those artists are with you the rest of your life. And for me, at least for me, that's kind of true, although I would say more in my 30s. And this morning I wrote down the 3 last bands that I absolutely loved. And they're old. 1995, over 20 years ago, I became a fan, not a big fan, but I became a fan of Radiohead. The first album I bought of theirs was The Bends, and I loved it. I went back and bought Pablo Honey, which didn't get great reviews, but I enjoyed it. I thought it was a very good debut album. And of course, OK Computer and Kid A. And after Kid A, they went a little bit too much on the electronics side of the music. I love Johnny Greenwood's guitar work. I think he's one of the greatest guitarists today. And so I haven't really been into their last few albums, although people tell me to check out some of them. Maybe I will, if I have time. And the same with Pearl Jam. Their debut album is the one most Pearl Jam fans love the most, or most rock music fans love the most. But I just thought it was good. I wasn't crazy about it. I never bought it. But I loved, let's see what I bought. I bought how do you pronounce that? Vitology first. I loved it. Played it a lot. No Code. I didn't care for as much, but like a lot of Pearl Jam fans, that's one album you have to play a few times to really appreciate. And Yield, which I think could be their best album. Binaural, if that's how you pronounce it, was good, but it was a little bit on the disappointing side. And then I did buy other albums by them, Riot Act, Pearl Jam, Backspace, Lightning Bolt. I think I bought all 4 of those at some point, and I just never got into them. But still, Pearl Jam's a great band. And the other band that I got into in 1994 is the Arcade Fire. I loved Funeral. Neon Bible, when it came out, was good, very good. The Suburbs was great, and even Reflector. But I just never became, obsessed with them like I did for bands when I was in my teenage years, 20s, and even 30s. And so I think there is, at least for me, I'm not saying for everybody, there's a cutoff point in your life where new artists, new bands just don't interest you anymore. I know there's always new bands coming out. Oh, you got to check out this band. And I will listen to them, and well, they're similar to Led Zeppelin. They're similar to Black Sabbath. You know what? I'd rather listen to Led Zeppelin or Black Sabbath. So for me personally, the best bands going today, the best rock bands still going today, are Radiohead, Pearl Jam, and the Arcade Fire. and Sparks. You know, my CD collection, it's all stuff from the 60s, 70s, and 80s for the most part. Alice Cooper, AC/DC, the Beatles, Blue Oyster Cult, Captain Beefheart, Frank Zappa, Creedence Clearwater Revival, The Doors, Led Zeppelin, Motorhead, the Northern Pikes, the Guess Who, Grand Funk, Sparks, the Rolling Stones, Randy Newman, Pearl Jam, Paul Simon, Paul McCartney, Uriah Heep, The Who, Yes, Steppenwolf, Canned Heat. It's all stuff from years and years ago when I was younger. You know, in the 70s and 80s, there's a lot of bands that I loved. XTC, I've written some of them down. XTC, The Cure, The Smiths, U2, Devo, Randy Newman, 10cc, Black Sabbath, Lou Reed, Elvis Costello. But even with all of those artists, there were only particular John Cougar Mellencamp. I could go on and on. And there would be like a few albums in a row that I would absolutely love or at least like a lot. And then there's just one point where they would release an album and it would be, you know, and it's not like back in the day. Like, for instance, the Beatles. Every album that came out, people that weren't born, that weren't alive when a Beatles album came out will never understand the excitement us Beatles fans felt when a new Beatles album came out. And sometimes it would be an actual surprise, you know, because there wasn't the internet back then, obviously, and even rock music magazines weren't that common. So you'd just go into a record store one day, or you'd hear from a brother or a family member, oh, there's a new Beatles album out, so you'd rush to the record store. So that's just my thoughts. For instance, if you're a viewer who's young, in your 20s or whatever, the music you like now, most of it, when you're my age, you're still gonna love. And the music in the future, when you're my age, I personally think you're not going to have that much interest in it, for the most part. I mean, it's not 100%, but it's, for the most part, you're going to be attached to the music from your youth and from your younger years like I am. And I don't care. Like, some people will say, oh, you got to check out new music. It's like, I have got so much music that I've heard through the years from my past that I still love, that I sometimes don't have time to listen to it all. And so I don't have the patience. I'm stuck in my ways, I guess, because I'm old. And so I would just love your thoughts on everything I've said, I guess. Thank you for watching. And by the way, I believe my next video, or one coming up very shortly, it's going to be a review on all of the songs on the Beatles' Love album. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.